We've got lots of metrics that we have to think about, I guess, internally, but what kinds of metrics might be useful for the industry as we transition to T+1? MJ, I'll start with you on that one.
Yeah, I think, again, you kind of need to think of it, well, we think of it from a, top to bottom, bottom to top kind of view, and they need to meet nicely in the middle. So from like the bottom up, I think we would love to see or need to see more information coming out from the CSDs, and the CSDs providing things such as settlement rates, foul rates, to Leah's point, pre-match information. It's crucial to understand, what our pre-matching is looking like, what pre-match exceptions we're seeing in that settlement layer. And then you can kind of layer it into what the vendors provide from like a speed perspective, how quickly a transaction's being allocated, how accurately are they being allocated, what is the same day match rate, and so on and so on. And I think, again, the only way to really, really crack some really, really meaningful T1 metrics is to try to pair some of these things together, work in tandem from the execution platforms through to the middle office providers, through to what the banks can also provide from a settlement performance perspective. But I think it's really going to come down to what the custodians can provide to their clients, what the CSDs can provide to the industry, to really understand, what we see today. And it's going to be really crucial in the lead up to T1, to understand as firms get more prepared, testing's underway, budgets are being utilised, project teams are fully under work, and so on. And we start to see some of those build-up metrics. And then what happens post-event? Obviously, the really important thing that's going to happen or should happen after T1 is our settlement performance should not decrease. In essence, it should really increase if firms are really embracing automation, and changing standards and removing manual touch points in their workflow and so on. So I think from a metrics perspective, it's going to be an industry play. Everybody's going to need to provide things, and whether we can provide things in the same way will remain to be seen. But my view, and the Matt Johnson view, not the DTCC view, is we really need to see more output coming out from the CSDs. I will say Crest have done an amazing job in what they're producing to market so far. We would love to see the rest of the CSDs go along that route and provide something just as meaningful.
Good call to action there. Leah, anything you want to add on that front?
Yeah, so closer to home, right? So you could actually use internal metrics and establish quite a lot of different things already from a readiness perspective. So just looking at transactions today and funding requirements. So where do you stand with your FX orders? Are they going in quite late in the day? Are they still catching your cash desk within their time zone in order to do that FX? Are they going into the next day? If they're going into the next day, do you need to introduce yet another cash desk within your workflow? For example, would you want to have somebody based in Asia, in an Asia time zone, to arrange some FXs for you in certain occasions? Where do you stand with the late processing and confirmation of your transactions as well today? So you can already see from today's metrics where you stand with those deadlines throughout the day, and are they met or not? Where do you have red flags? Do you need to introduce another time zone within your operational teams that would help with the end of the day in processing everything within the right timelines? So I think, yes, there's a lot of information that we could get from CSDs, but if we focus closer to home and internally using our own internal metrics today, there's a lot that can be done for readiness already.
Sure. So both in your house and outside of your house, there's metrics that should be able to help you, provided, as MJ said, they're consistent as well. I think that consistency point is very important to think about.